Whether you're at work on a computer, whether you are at home on a laptop or an iPad, I hope you're not in Zoom school though and taking time away, but we want to welcome you here to our Heroes event. This is the second year for this wonderful event, but it's obviously different. Coronavirus is changing the way we do so many things out there, but we did not want to get away from our commitment to these wonderful children. This nonprofit that we have, it is small, but it is mighty. We don't want to focus on the sickness of these kids. We want to focus on the strength of their spirit. And that's why we're coming to you over the next hour. We promise we're going to be out by 2 o'clock, and we're going to have a wonderful hour telling you more about our nonprofit and our commitment to these children. And my name is Jeff Goldblatt. I'll be your MC, walking you through the course of the events over the next hour. But first, I want to bring up my dear friend, a guy who's very committed to this cause, Howie Nestel. He is the event chair for our Heroes Luncheon and also a board member here. Howie?
Thank you, Jeff. It's always a pleasure working with you on projects like this. Real superheroes are found large and small. Today, you'll be hearing some of their stories, and while some of our heroes are watching our program at home, some are watching from their hospital rooms, and others live in our hearts. You see, when I was 12 years old, we lost my cousin Kimberly to cancer. She was only 3.5 years old. But she set me on a 4-decade journey to raise money, create awareness, and develop art therapy programs for children battling cancer. These beautiful children gave me a sense of meaning and purpose in life, and I will tell you that the experiences I shared with them are among the most inspiring experiences I've had. I invite each and every one of you today who is watching from home to visit VisionWorksCamps.org to see how this board of directors, staff, and volunteers are creating these forever experiences for children battling cancer. One of these experiences is Camp Discovery. It's a sleepaway summer camp held every summer in Kerrville for 150 rambunctious children. I am humbled to sit on this effective, passionate, and committed board with people who are ridiculously experienced in dealing with these child trauma cases. We serve these families, and this camp and its programs would not have been possible over the last 37 years without you, our donors and our volunteers. We have an amazing executive director in my friend Joey Cavazos, who gets it, lives it, and is fiercely protective of our children and of our reputation as a board of directors. These VisionWorks camps, as I mentioned, have existed for over 37 years, and it would not have been possible without your dedication and your family's commitment. I am honored to chair this virtual edition of Heroes event, and today I get to recognize one of my heroes, Jana Bounds, who, along with her husband, T-Bone, who's here today, have brought smiles and raised millions of dollars for these very brave little children. My fellow VisionWorks members, Camp Discovery staff, and volunteers will all tell you that when you meet a child battling cancer, it changes your life forever. I'd like to bring up two friends. The first will be Ambassador C. Siv, who was Deputy Assistant Secretary to President George H.W. Bush, and who is now a deacon at his church, and he'll give us our invocation, and then that will be followed by Zeph Gomes, who is our VisionWorks Camps Programs Director, who will do the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Ambassador.
Thank you, Harvey. It's my joyful privilege to be with you today. Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for bringing us together today to celebrate the life, the love, and laughter of kids with cancer. Please give them, their families, their friends, their volunteers, the communities, the society to care and share with them the beautiful spirit of our country. Please fill our days with your spirit, our hearts with love, our minds with service, and our bodies with strength, so that we can continue to serve you by serving others, especially these families, especially the very, very special children and their families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. And now, I mentioned him a little earlier, and I'd like to bring him up to give you a history and a background on VisionWorks camps and on Camp Discovery, our Executive Director, Joey Cavazos.
Good afternoon. My name is Joey Cavazos, and I'm the Executive Director of VisionWorks Incorporated. As you can see by the logos in the back, the VisionWorks organization is not connected with the eyewear company at all, because our rules are totally different and our missions are totally different. So I wanted to clarify that pretty early on. Camp Discovery was started in 1984 by the American Cancer Society. And I have been honored and privileged to have been involved with the organization since the beginning. So if you do the math, that means I started volunteering when I was 9 years old. So, if you can do the math, you can figure out what my age is. But Camp Discovery has been an integral part of my life in the lives of children battling cancer for that many years. In 2013, the American Cancer Society decided to change gears a little bit and not do pediatric oncology camping anymore. So they offered us the opportunity to take over. So the VisionWorks organization took over Camp Discovery, and we've been going full bore ever since. In fact, we created other programs along those lines to service other families and children that didn't get to go to Camp Discovery. So we are excited to talk to you about the things that we're doing these days. Before we go any further with the program descriptions, I want you guys to know that for the first time since 1984, Camp Discovery did not meet in person this year. You guys all, I'm preaching to the choir, you guys know what's going on, but we could not get to camp physically. So we had to pivot, we had to shift, we had to move things around, and I'm here to tell you that, I've always believed that Camp Discovery was just not a location, it's always been a family. And that has never been more evident than it was this year. Our logo, our theme this year was Camp is a family, not a place. And that was so true. That was so true for all the parents and the children. Because our film crew, our program crew, we did a great job of putting things together for these kids. But the feedback that we got from the families, and the most important thing about Camp Discovery this year was the connection, was the ability to be together. And so we put a program together that allowed those children to interact with each other for the whole week, online, virtually, and through other means of communication. So we had to make some changes. We had to make some situational decisions, and it turned out better than I thought it could. It was suboptimal, but it was still a great experience for 95 children that did participate. Camp Discovery is our flagship program, and I'm going to show you a quick video. We're going to show you a quick video of Camp Discovery, and then we're going to show you a slideshow of other programs that we are doing from this moment forward. So thank you.
The idea that this is a world on its own, You know, nothing like this exists anywhere else. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for any camper or counselor to experience year by year. They realize right away, this is different. There's something really different about this camp.
Once you're here the first day and you see how the kids are getting along with each other, you don't even have to be around them for very long to know, hey, I've got a friend, I just met someone and they're going through the same thing I'm going through.
There's a lot of memories I have from camp. I've been coming since I was like 8, so like you get to know a lot of people really well, and how the friends that you have stay your friends forever.
You realize how precious this week is for you because you only get to see these people oh so long and do these once in a week of a year activities.
This is the only place that I know that is completely judgment-free, and you can open up about anything, not just cancer and that you've had it or that you still have it.
And we all have something in common, so it helps us know you're not alone in this battle.
These kids give you just such a new vision about things. It's unbelievable.
You've just heard about Camp Discipleship Program. Now, here are brief descriptions of the other programs VisionWorks provides for children and families. Camp Bravehearts, an in-hospital program that brings a simulated camp experience to children in local hospitals that are unable to leave the hospital, and in some cases, unable to leave their rooms. The children get to experience arts and crafts, music, painting, campfire activities, archery, carnival games, spa sessions, photo shoots, and a host of other camp-type activities. VisionWorks Family Camps, a weekend camp experience for any family that has a child currently battling cancer or who has battled cancer in recent years. The weekend is full of activities such as swimming, arts and crafts, horseback riding, boating, campfires, archery, talent shows, and many other fun activities. There is also time for the parents to hang out with each other or for them to go off by themselves while the children are supervised by our volunteers. Camp Common Ground, a weekend camp experience for families with a child who has both a cancer diagnosis and an additional special need, such as autism, Down syndrome, or physical disabilities. This is a collaborative effort with Camp Camp. Similar to our other family camps, families can participate in an array of camping activities, as well as times of connectivity for the parents who are dealing with similar circumstances. Camp Firefly, a bereavement weekend camp experience for those families who have suffered the loss of a child to cancer. While this has all the components of a typical family camp weekend, there is also time to remember the child who has lost their battle with cancer. Amid all the fun camp activities, there is opportunity for these families to be around each other and heal as much as possible through their interactions. Adolescent Young Adult AYA programs, a program for cancer survivors between the ages of 18 to 29. The activities provided range from evening outings, dinner, movies, escape rooms, crafts, etc., to full weekend experiences at a camp, nearby ranch, SeaWorld, or any other creative experience the participants suggest. Wish Program, a program that grants wish trips to Disney World and Give Kids the World Village in Orlando, Florida. The families qualify by participating in any of our other programs, and they have to be a family that no longer qualifies through the Make-A-Wish Foundation for whatever reason, or they are under a time constraint to go to Disney World. As long as they have never had a wish granted to them before, we can arrange for them to go on a fully paid Disney trip in a short turnaround time. VisionWorks Camp Discovery Christmas Party, a Christmas party held at Morgan's Wonderland every December for any family in Central and South Texas that has a child battling cancer, has a child that has battled cancer, or has a child that passed away from cancer. This is a joint venture between VisionWorks Camp Discovery and Survivor Alert. For several hours on a Sunday evening in December, we rent the park and offer it exclusively to these families.
As you can see, we have a lot of programs going on, and this whole pandemic COVID crisis has caused us to shift and pivot a lot more than we wanted to. A lot of our programs had to be shut down. Our Wish program to Disney, due to the fact that our partner up in Orlando, Give Kids the World, they were not open, so we couldn't send any kids to Disney. Some of the camps weren't open, so we couldn't do family camps or Camp Common Ground. But one of the camps that kept on going through the creativity of our team is called Camp Bravehearts. And Camp Bravehearts is an in-hospital camp program presented by Mr. Harvey Najum with assistance from HEB Tournament Champions. And that program, we were able to take virtually due to the efforts of our team and the local hospitals that we work with. We work with University Hospital, we work with Children's Hospital San Antonio, and we work with Methodist Children's Hospital. The importance of Camp Braveheart Virtual is going to be discussed by Courtney Storm, and Courtney Storm is the Child Life Manager at Methodist Children's Hospital, and she has really taken on the responsibility of making sure that Camp Braveheart's Virtual continues. So I'd like to introduce Courtney Storm.
So I am definitely very excited about the opportunity to come in and talk about this camp because it has honestly been a lifesaver and a game changer with our patients who have been hospitalized throughout this pandemic. We have had to make so many policy changes and restrictions on these families, but this camp has made sure that they still had one thing to look forward to. It was the light of the whole week. They were so excited. They were able to interact and just with each other, and then also with our amazing volunteers who come in. They would sing the songs, they would get to paint all the crafts. It just made my heart so happy. We were even able to speak to some of these families after the fact. Camp had gone, it was over, done and gone for the month, but these families were still speaking and still talking, and I had one family who even cried talking about the positive effects that this camp has had. And so just knowing that we've been able to work with Camp Bravehearts through all of this has made such a big difference in these families' lives and these patients' lives. And at the end of the day, that's really all it's about, is getting to watch them light up when you bring them a video or a craft, or when we would roll in our music and just getting to watch how excited they would get. It's been something that I have been so thankful for as a child life department, that we are still able to offer this to our families. So just thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all more than y'all know. It's been so, so good.
All right, thank you, Courtney. Thank you for those great words. Camp Discovery, and I've said this to so many people, but I'm telling you in virtual land, Camp Discovery would not be what it is without volunteers. We are largely 98% driven by volunteers. And some of our former campers make up that volunteer corps. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes that particular volunteer isn't able to return year after year, and when they can, they're not always feeling the best. One of those volunteers was Liz Bird, and Liz Bird was a camper since she was a teenager, and she went through our LIT-CIT program, and then she became a Camp Discovery volunteer, and then she got involved with all our other programs. She was a volunteer for our family camps. She was a participant for our AWA program, and Liz Bird was the light of a lot of our lives. She was kind of quiet, but when she spoke and she laughed, it could clear a cloudy day. And Liz lost her life in 2018, and the mom is here. Kathy Zuckerman is Liz's mom, and she has agreed to talk to you about, what camp meant to Liz and what VisionWorks as a whole meant to Liz. But I can tell you this, Liz meant the world to us. So I would like for Kathy Zuckerman to come up and talk about Liz for just a little bit.
Okay, it's a little hard to follow. Anyway, yes, my daughter was Liz Bird. She's a camper for 3 years and a counselor for 5. And if there was one word that would sum up how she felt about Camp Discovery, it would be family. When she was 14 and at the end of her treatment for osteosarcoma, she had the privilege to attend her first camp. She was still in a wheelchair. She had no hair from the chemo, and she was kind of unsure of what to expect. Well, let me tell you, it was the beginning of a lifelong friendships. The counselors and the campers were fighting over who would push her in the wheelchair and be responsible for her. And there wasn't anything that she couldn't do. They somehow even got her up on a zip line. They craned her up somehow, and just because she was in a wheelchair, it just didn't matter. And that's what's so awesome about the camp. It doesn't matter if you have cancer, you still have an amazing time. She was a camper for 3 years and had no doubt that she would be a counselor, one way or another. So when she was 17, she was selected to be a counselor in training, and she went on to be a counselor for 5 years. Camp Discovery was more than just a camp to Liz. It was the first place that she felt fully understood. It was a place she felt safe. Being a kid who has cancer can be very isolating. Many times they have to miss out on parties and sleepovers, but not at Camp Discovery. At Camp Discovery, they're able to just be a kid, go to parties, have a dance, everything that they do. Camp Discovery is a place that makes the best of the situation that kids are going through. Like I mentioned before, they make sure that everyone can participate, and for just a second, they can forget about the awful disease that they have or they once had. So instead of being the kid with cancer in a room full of normal people, she was surrounded by her kind of people. As a mom, you sit up at night and you worry about your child with cancer, but while they're at Camp Discovery, a parent never needs to worry that their child is not loved, taken care of, and having fun. At Camp Discovery, I knew she had a place, a home, and a family. It was every year that she went, even as a counselor, was the best week of her year. Liz planned for camp all year long. As soon as she found out the theme for the next camp, her creative mind would begin planning and buying things for her yellow girls. From yellow tutus, yellow candy, yellow sunglasses, to decorations for her Paris-themed cabin. When camp was over, she would talk and talk about how much fun she saw on her yellow girls' faces. It was worth every second and every penny. In her own words, it's the happiest place on earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I know that's very difficult. Whenever I think about Liz, I have a difficult time and not getting emotional. Just so you know, Liz and I had a strange relationship. We didn't talk much throughout the year. We didn't have a whole lot of conversations, but when we did initiate conversation, it was very, very deep. It was very, very spiritual. It was what's life like on the other side of this life? What do you think it's going to be like? So we had some very deep spiritual conversations. She was a woman of great faith, and her love for Jesus Christ was evident to everybody at camp. Probably made some people uncomfortable, but that's really okay. So Liz and I had that kind of relationship, and I do miss her, and I know that Mom does too, more than I can possibly imagine. Something that Kathy said that I want to emphasize is, you know, when you're diagnosed with cancer, it's your world kind of shakes a little bit. You have to really make some adjustments, and you have to process things out a lot. I can't imagine what it's like to have a child diagnosed with cancer. That'd be on the top of my nightmare list, and I think it's on top of a lot of parents' nightmare lists. But camp was so important to Liz. And a real quick example is I had the privilege of being at her wedding, and I remember at her wedding I asked her husband, "So when are you going to come volunteer at camp?" And his response was, "Liz won't let me. Camp is her place, and she doesn't want to share that with me. She'll share her life, but not camp." So I thought that was pretty funny and telling of what camp meant to her. Once again, when you're diagnosed with cancer, things just they take a tailspin. And the person that we're honoring today is a lot like Liz. This is a lot like her, Jana Bounds. Behind the scenes, when people hear that, they think of a person who just does the paperwork and doesn't really do much for the organization. Jana Bounds was not that person. Jana Bounds and her husband, Tommy T-Bone Bounds, are the founders, and they run Teed Off at Cancer, now Hope Is Harder Cancer Foundation. And if I wanted something, if I needed something, I would go to T-Bone, and his response would be, "Go ask Jana." So Jana is the one that really kind of runs things, and people like T-Bone and I, we take all the credit for things that other people do. And Jana Bounds and Liz were a lot alike. They didn't want to be talked about. When I told Jana I wanted to honor her, she was very hesitant until I told her that she didn't have to be present. So Jana, you're out there watching, I hope, and I just want to thank you for allowing us to honor you with this award that we're going to present today. With that being said, there's a couple of videos I want people to see, because I want people to know who Jana Bounds is, because she's hiding behind a lot of people in her organization that are more up at the front lines. And I don't think she gets a lot of the credit and recognition that she deserves or needs, but she doesn't want it either. So it's kind of ironic. But I just want Jen to know how much we love her, and you're about to hear people talk about her as well. So.
Jana's an incredible woman. I met her about 20 years ago. She's one of those women, when she was given lemons, instead of making lemonade, she made lemon martinis. You know, lemon drop. She's just like no other person I've ever met.
She's easy to trust. You know, she cares about you. You very quickly, when she lets you, see who she is inside, which is really a humble and brave and remarkable woman.
Jana's like the bestie to many people.
True.
You know, somebody
Yes.
like, I have a bestie, I got one bestie. Jana is the bestie to like multiple people, just because she is
Jana.
Yeah, she's just an amazing person, an amazing friend.
You know, one great thing about Jana is she never let her illness define her.
She's beautiful inside and out, and I love her like a sister, and she's an inspiration, and she is the strongest person that I know. The battle that she's fighting, I mean, she's hitting it head on, and you know, not giving up, doing everything she can to fight it, and she's just an inspiration.
Yeah, there'll be a day that, I'm not sure how she knows it, but you'll get a little text and it'll be her little funny meme or whatever, and it'll just be quintessential Jana, something that's so her.
That she's thoughtful in everything she does. I mean, she's thoughtful in making people feel loved and cared for. And that's, you know, with her family, with her friends. It just extends everywhere throughout her life. She would have sleepovers at the house, you know, with all after surgeries, always a smile on her face, always wanting to, you know, go above and beyond for Jack and her friends, and never let what she was going through define her.
I never felt like I had to treat her different because, you know, she was going through this. And I think it's incredible that she took this illness and turned it into such an incredible charity that, you know, she's taking care of all these children. You know, that's my whole lemons to lemon martinis, you know? She's just incredible. We love you, Jana. I can't do this anymore.
So I said, you know what? Hey, Spielberg, I don't even want to be in your stupid movie. Oh, hey, I love me some J-Bone. What's up, Jana Bounds? I got to tell you how much I love Jana Bounds and how blessed I am to know this incredible woman and her phenomenal heart. While she's battled cancer all these years, 20 plus, her battle's been more for the children diagnosed with cancer, for the families affected in that journey. So Jana Bounds, I love you, and I'm a better person because I know you. And thank you for all you do for our San Antonio families and the love you give.
Great to see my friend Bill Taylor there from Ken's 5, with whom I shared a news desk for 3 years. So Bill, thank you so much for your support of Jana and also of VisionWorks. Jana, as was said in the video, you have been a bestie to so many people, but also to this program. And on behalf of VisionWorks and Camp Discovery, we want to thank you for your financial support and for bringing in so many other people to financially contribute to our programs. We know you can't be with us here physically, but you certainly are well represented, and here to accept the award on your behalf is your husband, Tommy T-Bone Bounds.
Oh, you do have an award for me. Oh, thank you. We're just honored to be able to support Camp Discovery and VisionWorks. We met these guys several years ago, and it took me 10 minutes to figure out that we really wanted to help these guys. And we're honored to be here. I'm honored that that Jana's receiving the award, because what Joey said is so true. She's the backbone to everything that we do, and I'm just a salesman. And Joy, I just wanted to thank you very much. We will continue to support VisionWorks and Camp Discovery. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know that we decided to just got off the phone, and you know, even as Jana's in the hospital, we've committed $75,000 for you for next year. So.
And this is for Jana. If she wants to share it with you, she can, but take it from me. I know how cold it gets in the hospitals.
Yes.
And so this is a nice warm fleece blanket with our Camp Discovery logo on it. And
Well, thank you.
I just hope that everything she wraps herself in, she knows how much we love her, how much our kids love her and appreciate all she does.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we like you too.
Yeah, I'm all right. I don't get a gift? No. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just wanted to say, first off, thank you for everybody who has tuned in and has been supporting us financially. Also, a big shout out to Morgan's Wonderland, who has been able to host us here and let us use their facility. We are forever grateful for y'all. I did want to give a little information about our donations, and so just for information, y'all, if you do donate $50, we do have this lovely tumbler that you can receive. And then also for $100, we have this tote. It's a great canvas tote with some embroidery. Those donations we are accepting from now until the end of October. So if you're not watching this live and you wanted to watch this that has been recorded, you can give that donation until now and the end of October. So please include your mailing address on the PayPal information. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will step down.
How often do you see me involved in something that's running early? We planned on this event lasting an hour online, so we're going to let some of you off early, but we're not going to let you off easy. Heather talked a little bit about how you can donate to Camp Discovery and VisionWorks camps, and while we are grateful and thankful for all our big donors, we need the small donors, you at home, $25, $50, $100. But I don't want you to give because of the stories you heard today. I want you to go do your own research and go to visionworkscamps.org. Look at the programs that we offer these children and their families through bereavement camps, sleepaway summer camps, AYA experiences. There's too many to go into detail on today. But I want you to think about those programs when you go and make a pledge to support VisionWorks camps. It is unique in that while most oncology camps throughout the country have either closed their doors or reduced their services, VisionWorks camps right here in Central Texas has been expanding our offerings. We have 7 or 8 new programs that have come online just in the last 3 years, and we don't plan on slowing down. But to go another 37 years, we're going to need your support. So visionworkscamps.org, very easy to donate. Register, become a part of our family. And next summer, when we have, God willing, physical sleepaway summer camp again, we'll invite you all to come out to Donor Day, to come out and visit. So thank you again for tuning in today. Thank you, T-Bone, for being here. We love Jana. We love all of our donors, all our volunteers, our staff. I want to bring my friend Jeff Goldblatt, our MC, for the 2nd year in a row. And next year, we plan on doing another sold-out luncheon like we did last year.
It is a little different doing a luncheon like this where you do have an audience, but it's about 10, 15 people. And to have that interaction is kind of different as opposed to a sold-out crowd like we had 1 year ago. So camp is a privilege. It doesn't matter who you are. The opportunity to go to camp, it can be expensive. It can be a privilege. It can be time-consuming. So the fact that VisionWorks and Camp Discovery affords this opportunity for sick children to make them think for weeks at a time, days at a time, that they're just like everyone else, that is an awesome privilege. And that's something that you are affording by your generous contributions. We thank you for joining us for this less than an hour, which is great, Howie, by you. Whew, I've waited on you plenty in life, but that's all good. But we're getting you out here in less than an hour. We thank you for considering us. We know times are very different right now, but just a little bit, reach in your pocket, contribute to us. It's such a worthwhile cause. As we leave you right now, some sights and sounds from our camps, another video, God bless you, and we'll see you here at another event 1 year from now. Bye-bye.